Oke, jadi aku bakal bahas gimana kali ini AI automation itu udah berubah. Jadi yang dulunya kalian mungkin cuma perlu waktu 1 jam, sekarang bahkan bukan 1 jam, bisa jadi cuma 5 menit. Terutama untuk kalian yang technical barrier-nya, yang teknikalnya rendah, itu bahkan lebih rendah lagi. Jadi kita bakal lihat di sini salah satu mentor aku, dia expert di N8N sama AI automation, dan kita bakal lihat gimana caranya kalian bisa manfaatin cloud code ini untuk lebih efisienin kalian punya kerjaan. Oke, jadi langsung saja kita mulai.
Change forever. Most workflows today only do exactly what you tell them, nothing more. But agentic workflows are different. You basically give them an outcome, not just a flow, and they figure out the steps by themselves. So in this video, I'm gonna explain the shift, and then I'm gonna build one live so you can see just how practical it already is. So let's first take a look at the difference between the new agentic tech versus the old way of doing things. So what
Oke, jadi untuk konteks, kalau misalkan kalian lihat video aku tentang ngebuat pakai N8N, itu kalian bisa lihat itu dari desain planningnya, sama dari ngebuat node, nyusun node workflow-nya, itu semuanya manual. Jadi ini yang bedain antara Cloud sama N8N. Kalau misalkan di Cloud kalian pakainya prompt nantinya. Jadi kalian pakai prompt, habis itu bakal ditanya-tanya oleh Cloud-nya. Nah, yang bagusnya itu bukan ditanya pertanyaan teknikal. Dia bakal tanya apa yang mau kamu buat, lalu dia sendiri yang tentuin teknikalnya gimana. Jadi kita langsung aja lihat pembahasnya.
does agentic actually mean? Well, if you've been building an end-to-end for a while, you know the drill. You drag a node, you configure it, you connect it to the next one, you test the flow, you hit an error, you read the error message, you figure out what went wrong, you fix it, and then you test it again, which means every API connection, every variable, every condition, that's all on you. But with agentic, it's a bit different. Instead of telling the system how to do something, you just tell it what you want in plain English. So you explain where the data is coming from, what needs to happen, and then where it should end up. The agent then figures out the rest. So just think about it like you're hiring an actual human developer. You wouldn't go in there and explain every single line of code. You would just explain the outcome that you're looking for, what problem you're trying to solve, what tools you're working with, and what the end result.
Oke, ini persis banget sama yang aku bilang tadi. Jadi kalian cuma perlu tahu secara high level apa yang kalian mau. Kalian nggak perlu tahu tentang low level teknikalnya, dan kalian bisa langsung buat automation itu langsung jadi. Nah, tapi masalahnya ada satu masalah gitu untuk cara ini. Jadi untuk workflow yang simple, kalau misalkan kalian mau cepat pakai, itu kalian bisa pakai ini. Workflow-nya simple dan bukan yang kompleks. Tapi kalau misalkan kalian mau buat untuk project yang besar, automation yang kompleks itu kalian nggak bisa hilangin low level teknikalnya. Jadi kalian tetap perlu knowledge low level teknikalnya kalau workflow yang beneran kompleks. Dari segi error handling, dari segi maintenance-nya, itu kalian harus tahu gimana caranya. Jadi sebagai konteks yang dia bilang itu tuh untuk ngebuat workflow sederhana.
Should look like, and then they'd go build it for you. So here's the thing, if you can't explain clearly what you want, then how could you expect a human or an AI agent to actually build that? So there has to be a clear scope. You don't need to know how to code, but you do need to know how to communicate your plan clearly. And the good news is you can actually use the agent to just brainstorm. So if you tell it roughly what you're trying to do, and it'll ask you all the questions that it needs answered in order to actually build a robust solution. And that's the huge shift, because you can go from being the person who constructs every piece of the puzzle to being the person who just defines what do you want the puzzle to look like. So there are 4 main changes that I need you to understand in order to build an agentic workflow with me. So the first one is self-healing. This is probably the biggest and one of the coolest ones, because if you build something in end-to-end, when the workflow breaks, you read the error message, you tweak the node, you test it again, and if it breaks again, you repeat. So that whole
Yep, ini salah satu yang aku rasain waktu ngebuat N8N. Jadi di N8N itu bagus apapun kalian desain pasti bakal ada yang breaks. Kayak contohnya asumsi kalian tentang cara node-nya bekerja itu salah. Nah, waktu workflow-nya, waktu ada yang pecah ini, workflow-nya yang hancur ini, terkadang dianya nggak kelihatan jelas. Jadi kalian harus kayak isolasiin satu persatu workflow-nya sebelum kalian bisa tahu masalahnya di mana. Ini salah satu kekurangan kalau kita pakai N8N.
debugging loop eats up a lot of time. Now, if you're building an agentic workflow, the agent handles that loop for you. Imagine every time your workflow broke, a smart assistant was sitting right there next to you, just reading the error, testing a fix, and only calling you in if it was really, really stuck. So the agent tries something, runs it, checks what happened, and if something broke, it figures out why, edits its own code, edits its own instructions, and updates everything so that it doesn't make that mistake again. And here's what's really wild. You don't have to read or write any of that code yourself. You just explain what good looks like, and when you need to, approve the changes that it suggests. All right, number 2 is natural language control, but for real this time. Because you've probably seen tons of tools that let you build with natural language. Lovable, Bolt, Lindy, even N8N has an AI workflow builder. You basically type in a prompt, it spits out a workflow or a website. But if you've actually tried using these for production-ready systems, you know that usually they require a lot of manual cleanup or a lot of back and forth. They'll get you maybe 60 or 70% of the way there. But this new generation, it feels a lot different. Instead of just taking your prompts and building, it first interviews you to make sure that it knows everything it needs. So it'll ask you clarification questions like we talked about before it tries to write a single line of code. It'll ask you questions like, who are the users? How many times should this run? What tools are you using? What happens if X happens? What should happen?
Oke, jadi ini sebenarnya benar ya. Jadi aku pernah pakai tools yang namanya Bolt untuk ngebuat kayak sebuah website application. Aku sadar dianya nggak kayak tanya sedetail itu, sama kayak Cloud Code. Jadi dianya kita cuman kasih perintah buat apa, dianya langsung otomatis ngebuatin. Padahal padahal masih banyak detail yang belum aku masukin di perintah itu. Alhasil jadi hasilnya itu nggak sesuai yang aku inginin, dan kita harus iterasi banyak, makan banyak token. Nah, yang dimaksud dari si NetHeart ini, itu dianya bakal tanya dulu. Jadi untuk menghemat token dianya nggak bakal ngebuat programnya, dia bakal tanya dulu, pastiin detail-detailnya sesuai sama yang kita mau. Itu salah satu kelebihan dari Cloud Code yang dia maksud dari sini. Nah, untuk kalian yang mau nonton full videonya, kalian bisa langsung aja ke cari ini. Ini adalah salah satu video dia yang udah aku filter untuk kalian supaya kalian tahu mana yang penting bagi kalian, mana yang nggak penting bagi kalian.